Okay, so this is my first opportunity to chair the event, so thank you all for coming. I'd hate to throw a party and have nobody show up, so thanks for being here. It's been a great event so far. I just want to talk a little bit about the EOY, the entrepreneurial ecosystem in the state, and what EOY is intended to be. In New Hampshire, I think we have an exceptional group of entrepreneurs, and hopefully you've gotten a flavor of some of that tonight. And an increasingly vibrant entrepreneurial ecosystem that just, I think, getting stronger and stronger, which is great. It is the kind of ecosystem that needs to be nurtured and actively supported. I think there's a bunch of people I know here in the room that are behind it. We're fortunate to have some of our sponsors who have also been important supporters of the ecosystem. You know, by way of a couple of examples, Dine has been a huge supporter of the ABI Hub and its famous Dine Teenies. You should all experience some of those. Fairpoint, you know, provides connectivity throughout the state. UNH Manchester, some innovative tech-based curriculum, and are doing more and more work to educate students for the high-tech jobs that continue to come into the state. And I would say, ask yourself, what can you do to also help this entrepreneurial ecosystem? It's such an important part, I think, of New Hampshire, and hopefully you've gotten a flavor of that tonight as well. Part of what we're here tonight to do is to celebrate entrepreneurship really from the very beginning. Hopefully you had a chance to see the first robotics teams that were in the back when you got here. We had 2 teams with us tonight. We had team number 131 from Central High School. We had team number 166 from Merrimack High School. We also had, as you came in, some of our startup exhibitors on the tables as you walked in, to show really what we have here in the state by way of early stage startup companies. You know, the purpose of the High Tech Council and even EOY is really to promote our entrepreneurs from the time they start at first or the time they start a new company all the way to the point where hopefully they can get to tonight, being celebrated for their successes. So for the startup companies that were in the back, if they could all stand up just to be recognized and give them a quick round of applause, that would be great. And they are all listed in the program. I'd suggest you all take your programs home with you so you can, you know, talk about the stories when you knew them all when they weren't world famous. This is the 26th annual Entrepreneur of the Year event. So we've had a lot of great entrepreneurs recognized throughout the year, and the question we always get is, well, what does it take to be an Entrepreneur of the Year here? Well, the applicants are any founder, owner, or senior level manager of a business in New Hampshire who has successfully organized, developed, or managed a high technology concept into a commercial product or service. And the judges are asked to take into account a variety of different criteria, including risk, one of the cornerstones of entrepreneurship, right? Innovation, growth, competition, profitability, employment and job creation, and a New Hampshire-based presence. And to bring all of that together and to get this event together, it takes an army of volunteers. Listed in your program are the judges, the people that reviewed the applications and had to make a decision from a very strong group of applicants who the finalists would be and eventually who the winner would be. Interviewers who we send out to interview all of the applicants to provide the judges with really a flavor of who the person is that goes beyond just the numbers. And a committee of people who come together to really organize the event. And I'd ask you also to recognize them. If they could all stand for a moment just to be recognized, that would be great. Judges, interviewers, committee members, where are you? Don't be shy. They're all here. They're incredibly helpful. They're incredibly humble. So thanks. We also have a bunch of past winners. So again, we've been doing this for 26 years. I'd ask the past winners, if there are some in the room, just to stand up for a moment to be recognized as well. And now, hopefully the moment you've been waiting for, one of the moments, there have been a lot of moments. We had an incredibly strong field of applicants this year, and what the judges, we give them a lot of leeway to decide how they want to honor the Entrepreneur of the Year. And this year they thought that there were 3 applicants that really rose to the top pretty readily and were great examples of New Hampshire entrepreneurship and the successes that companies have in the state. So what I'd like to do first is to start off and talk about the 3 finalists and to recognize them for their accomplishments. I'm going to go in alphabetical order of company names so as not to give anything away. I want to recognize first Newforma. Newforma software connects architecture, engineering, construction, and owner organizations to each other and our remote team members to ensure a successful project delivery. Company sales have grown by more than 30% for the past 3 years, and Newforma now employs over 185 people. To tell you more about Newforma, I'd like to see if we can run their video. So somebody had some fun with the synthesizer, sounds to me. If I could now ask Ian Howell, Bob Batchelder, and Dave Plunkett to come on up as one of the groups of finalists for this year's 2014 EOY. Come on up, guys. Okay, finalist number one. See how they try to run off the stage? They don't want to have their picture taken with me. It happens all the time. Second finalist, we'd like to recognize Scribe Software. Scribe is a hub of innovation and advancement within the global data integration community. Sales have grown year after year since inception. The cloud-based integration solutions like Scribe Online represent the future of easy-to-use, powerful solutions for business today. And to tell you more about Scribe, we'll let Scribe tell you more with their video.
Scribe software brings customer data anywhere that it's needed in an organization to provide real business value. And we've done that by providing data replication, migration, and integration solutions over the last 15 years.
We're an integration company, and so we integrate everything from quote to cash, from our CRM system into GP, from our registration database. We are a more efficient company by having data integration. We've saved over $100,000 with having multiple people do data entry into our support system, into our CRM system, into our accounting system.
By using Scribe, I'm able to efficiently build the integrations, make the data flow, and come up with a winning solution that is just just huge for the client in the end. It saves them so much time, so much money.
The importance of Scribe and how it helps our clients is it removes that manual intervention component. It makes the processes more efficient. We don't need to worry about data integrity from a standpoint of from human error, as Scribe is acting as that automatic integration tool.
I choose Scribe on a daily basis because when compared to the other tools, it's the best one.
And, we think it's a fantastic product that either you can install on your servers, or now with Scribe Online integration and application services, you can also put it in the cloud. And now from here, as more and more of our data, or big data, resides in the cloud, products, Scribe specifically is a very critical product in ensuring that you can connect these systems.
Now let me welcome up to the stage two of the entrepreneurs behind Scribe Success, Peter Chase and Lou Gersha. All right, last but certainly not least, the third of our finalists is Single Digits. Single Digits is a white label network operator for property owners. The company began in 2003 with just 3 employees and has grown to over 100 employees. Single Digits helps clients connect consumer devices to private networks. Let's see if Single Digits can tell you a little bit more about themselves with their video. So let me bring up to the stage and congratulate from Single Digits, Bob Goldstein and Steve Singlar. And now that we've honored the 3 finalists, as you can tell, just 3 great companies, the judging panel felt very strongly that they really wanted to highlight some of the great entrepreneurs and entrepreneurship that we've got in the state by really naming the 3 finalists because of the great work that they've done and the success that they've had. Then they had the very tough task is from the 3 finalists, deciding who the winner would be. So it's my job, I guess, to tell you. So after a short commercial break, no, I'm just kidding. So without further ado, I guess what we would like to do is to congratulate the winners of the 2014 Entrepreneur of the Year Award from the New Hampshire High Tech Council. From Newforma, Ian Howell, Bob Batchelder, and Dave Plunkett. Come on up here, guys. Camera still works. It's amazing. Great. Well, thanks very much, guys. Congratulations again. I'd like to invite Ian up if you want to just say a few words on behalf of the winners. Or if Bob wants to come up and say a few words on behalf of the winners.
So we wanted to take a minute to recognize the other members of the founding team of Newforma. There are a total of 4 additional, Ian, Dave, myself, and right over there's Todd Kozakowski and Larry Nuttall. The really cool thing about a startup ecosystem is that as you grow your companies, some of your people go off to start their own great companies of their own. And I expect to see Todd up here with Yabadoo at some point in the future, EOY, and Larry the same with FlowTrack. We also have 2 founders out in California, Alan Prager and Jim Forster. Jim Forster's in California, Alan's in the UK, expanding our global presence, and they've certainly been an integral part of our success.
So in a recurring theme that you've heard tonight, when we started Newforma, we were fond of saying we didn't have a single line of source code, and it was even worse than that. We didn't even have any software developers on staff. All that was yet to come. We are representatives of a whole bunch of people that make Newforma what it is, and there's no way we'd be here without all of them. There are a bunch of that crew that joined us in the first year that are with us tonight. Virtually all the software developers we hired are still at the company. That dedication is what it takes to make a great company. And not only them, but their families. To start a company requires sacrifice both by the employees and by their families. I want to thank all of them. We sure appreciate all your help.
It was great to hear David talking about all his startups. We've only attempted 1, and that's a lot of hard work, not 6. But it does take a believer, and I'd like to acknowledge Jesse Devitt as our believer, as our seed investor. Thank you, Jesse, and his partner, Phil Fano. Without their financial support, without the help of Borealis to get started, and without the help of the Granite Fund to continue to grow, we wouldn't be here tonight. So thanks to all of our investors as well.
So interesting call outs to various members of the entrepreneurial ecosystem that we have here in the state, right? So just think about that, I guess, as you depart. And another one that I didn't mention with the startup tables, they were generously sponsored by 10X Ventures, another very important resource here for the state and our ecosystem. So with that, let me turn it over to Paul Malhot. Final words.
Okay, so again, congratulations to the team at Newforma. just fantastic. I know a lot of those folks from a previous life, so it's wonderful to see you all up here and winning. So a couple of closing remarks before we adjourn this evening. Again, I want to thank everybody for coming. I think it's been just a fantastic evening. A lot of energy, some great stories shared by our keynote, and certainly some great finalists and a wonderful award winner. I do want to acknowledge a couple of folks that are retiring from our board of directors, and I'm going to ask them both to stand here in a moment, and then I'd like to give them a round of applause. These two folks have been part of the council for a number of years in all different capacities, serving on all types of committees, huge supporters of ours. The first is Matt Pearson, and the second is Bob Good. I'd like you to join in thanking them for all their service to the council. So finally, a couple of dates. I promised to share a couple of dates with you. The Entrepreneur Forum, the next Entrepreneur Forum over at First Place is happening later this month, May 21st. And then we're going to have a gathering of our members, a social gathering this summer. We've started doing this the last few years, which has worked out really well. We're going to do a Fisher Cats game on June 19th. And then this fall, you'll hear a whole lot more about this as the time gets closer, but we've got Tech Out coming up in the fall, and then followed up by Product of the Year. So lots to look forward to in 2014. Again, we thank you all for being here tonight. Please stick around and network a bit longer if you can. And thank you very, very much for coming.